Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the MDL Major. You had some smooth, sexy sounds in your little ears a little while ago with that wonderful music, but we're back now. And don't you give me that look. Don't you do it.
Hey, man, it's your intro. You do you.
I don't know. I like the sound of that music. It's good, you know? It's the chill hop stuff.
I mean, I thought you were going to say, like, the smooth, sexy voices of our panelists, and I was going to be like, well,
that's not
that
what
would
this
make
is.
sense.
That's not what we do here.
Yeah, I heard sexy, and I immediately thought of this whole panel.
That's
but then
true.
you changed it to the music, which...
Dude, we should, this shot I really like. I think we should do it in black and white, Rob.
I don't know if we have the technology.
That's the closest we can get, we are told.
Yeah?
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
There we go.
Whoa, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, nobody wants to see that. Oh, this is good. Look at this. This is like, you know, it's a dark and stormy night.
Exactly. Here we are, three men.
in
4
a
a.m.
closed room.
Yeah.
They're cold.
Watching.
No warmth
Oh my
to
goodness.
be had.
How? It's got to be really late in China. If it's like what 7:30 almost over there. There could be potentially 4 more games of Dota. It's gonna be a long night,
It is gonna
possibly.
be a long
What
night
time
for
is it
them.
right now for us?
4:10.
How do you feel about
Living
just
the
keeping
dream.
the whole game in black and white?
I'm
Would that
feeling it.
change it?
I think that our viewers might get a little miffed.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I think what would mainly happen is the people that are here right now would be like, oh, they're just doing, like, trying this out. The people that show up after this point, why is it in black and white?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then 10 minutes later, not even 10 minutes, like 30 seconds later, wait, why is it in black and white?
Yeah,
And that's going to be the entire concept of the or conversation of the game.
I like what OG did. I'm just throwing that out there. The Doom ban. The first 2 heroes taken out of the game, one by each, is the Wisp Doom. And I would have to agree, I don't think we'll see those heroes like ever again. Doom just... every time I've seen Doom played the way it is played, well, right? You get a Satyr ASAP in the laning
tanky
phase.
creep, or tanky
Yeah.
items.
Yep, you get a Wolf or a Centaur throughout the mid game, and you literally just buy like drums, Blink, Crimson or Pipe, whatever you want. Shiva's after,
Even
BKB
if
if
it's
you need it.
dispellable and countered by one of those heroes, it seems
Yeah.
to work. Like, it's all good with that hero.
He just does too much without any offensive items, other than
Yeah.
maybe what enable him to Doom.
I
And
mean-
then in the games where all he has to do is build items to Doom somebody, then you win the game because you Doom somebody.
So is it really the hero or is
Great
it
picks.
the items? Because like last patch it was Underlord, right? And there it was he did too much previously because he gives you Roche. He pushes
Yeah.
out waves. Now it's Doom. He can take one hero out of the fight. Doesn't do Roche as well, but he's also that damage.
Underlord did
amplification.
all those things in the team fights that Doom does, but I think the difference is now that the priority of having a hero that says, once I hit level 6, you're not walking into my lane,
Yeah.
is so valuable with the way that like bounty runes work now and just in general the meta. You want that, like, most teams want that first 10 to 12 minutes of wind-up period where we're getting our first mid-tier item, or like Shadowblade on Slark, these type of things. And Doom just eliminates every carry's game at 6 minutes. Or 5 minutes.
Not just that, he doesn't even. I think it's even less about Doom, more the Infernal Blade spam.
Oh, no,
Like,
for sure.
It just at level 7, you can just be in a lane and threaten the Doom.
Yeah.
And
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like
yeah,
in the
it's
past
just-
it wasn't enough. You actually had to Doom the person.
Yeah.
But now it's just like E. It's like you can't possibly trade with that unless you're killing him.
And then going to this game, I love Disruptor Lycan into Night Stalker. OG banned it in the previous game, and I think that these are like, if you were to counter like Night Stalker as a first pick, these are the 2 heroes I think do that best. Disruptor is my favorite support against NS because you can queue for vision and then always set up glimpse even throughout darkness.
I like that a
and
lot, too.
Lycan, you're going to always have double howl bonus every time. It's just a great hero against Night Stalker.
Whoa, and one that
Well,
I
that's
haven't
different.
seen in a long time, but I mean it's an S4 hero.
It's just really early, man.
Yeah, it
And
is.
that's not necessarily a great hero against Disruptor either.
Would this have been banned in the second phase?
No,
Like that's the thing that I
Is this a 5-position bad? Like, is that possible?
it
I just don't
Maybe.
feel like you can pick it this early and have it be a core because it's going to get lane countered by at least 2 heroes, or at least one, probably 2 heroes. And there's so many left. Like, there isn't a single one banned. You have the Slarks, the Lifestealers, the PLs, the Abaddons. Like, okay, there's the Abaddon gone.
So
I mean,
what about the do you have to think about banning out heroes that also counter the glimpse as well, or rather the lasso as well, or do you just think about the lane counters?
that's what they're doing. They're trying to get both.
Right.
Like, Abaddon's not only a lasso counter, but also
Yeah.
a lane counter. So they're prioritizing the ones that do both. But that's what I mean with bad is that's why we haven't seen much of it. I think Kyle thinks the same thing. Is there's just too many things that give it a hard game,
Yep.
and it doesn't give you enough to pay off for it.
Especially when, China is slowly proving, hey guys, all our offlaners play Lycan. I'm sure KP can if pressed to. So this Lycan's going to do its job no matter what. The bat doesn't ever stop the Lycan from doing its job, and I would argue that you don't. It just, again, go back to this point of like sustained damage throughout a fight. The bat's fine, but where are you going to find like that sustained damage and the ability to take objectives off of these kills? Because the two heroes OG have selected, you have a vision provider, a vision consumer, 0 tower pressure, really not much wave clear, because bat as a rule doesn't really want to be on map that often. You want to play around your other cores that are on map and then find kills when people are forced to show.
So do you think you have to go for like a carry matchup here that does well against the Lycan, or are you thinking more one that's more focused on taking down like the buildings and then you deal with the Lycan with other heroes?
Yeah, you need wave clear, the thing. Like
Okay.
you deal with the Lycan in some ways with bat, but that's only if you're applying pressure off of those kills, and the pressure is actually what's going to lead to these kills in the first place. Like you can't just not have wave clear against these sort of heroes, because when Disruptor is just too powerful as well, when he is able to play aggressively, when waves are pushed, he can hunt through the jungle, find a Q, find a glimpse, and all of a sudden you're just picking somebody off, and it's just going to be all about like the tempo control and map control. It just comes down to map control. Like
So
Dota
what wave
always
clear
has.
is there that like heroes that can independently function with Disruptor on the enemy team? That's something I'm kind of.
Sand King, I guess.
You could do it from the support, but I don't think they'll pick Sand
Can't
King,
pick
Night
Sand
Stalker.
Okay.
Like I mean, heroes that come to mind are usually bad against Lycan because most of them are single target heroes like Jug and stuff that just get shredded, and you can't
Yeah.
possibly pick them into Lycan.
Knowing OG, they're going to go for a Witch Doctor third. Think that it's just like their favorite hero in a lot of respects, and they like it a lot with Bat Rider as well. The user would possibly been a Dazzle in the past, but I just don't think that that's realistic. And yeah, as far as newbie goes, you might want to take your support here. It depends on the direction you're going. You could theoretically pick like some sort of Oracle hero, but I don't like that as much. I think you might just want to take a core and just leave that 4 position open.
Do you like try and create another
Naga?
threat? You talk about those stacks.
No,
They
Sand
take
King.
the Sand King. Okay.
It's like Naga or Sand King. You just pick something that synergizes with your disruptor, strong lanes, have a nice cheap little stun. Nothing wrong with it.
Third pick now for OG.
I'm curious to see where they plan to go with this Bat Rider because from somebody who's tried drafting a little bit myself, I just like Kyle said, they kind of just have holes in their draft, and it feels like you not only have to fill those holes, but you also have to kind of counter what they're dealing with on newbie side. And that actually kind of does it.
That's great.
It gives you wave clear and it counters Lycan. I'm not saying it's the perfect pick, but
I
does-
like it. I like it a
Yeah.
lot. You also have increased division at night, so you have great synergy with your Night Stalker.
That's only during our queue, right? But still.
Yeah. You also shove waves, right? And that would be the issue with
Yep.
a Witch Doctor, where you're not nearly as effective. And it also provides a lot more team fight. And in your words, yes, it is like that stat cancel for a Lycan. Like you trump Lycan now with this hero, and it makes newbie now. In order to win a fight, they need to think about not just how are we dealing with this Bat Rider and the vision advantage of OD, but how do we get on top of that Wyvern too?
I'm a little concerned for their lanes. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Because I feel like if newbie just picks lane counters to Bat Rider right now and then another counter to whatever OG picks next, I feel like Wyvern's a hero that is still vulnerable to get ran over.
They have the last pick.
Yeah,
as
there's
well,
the
so they
PL.
can
I was
go
going to
for
say
it.
one of the three. Like, I was thinking PL, Slark, or Nyx, but all the other ones looked a little awkward, so PL looks good to me.
It's a great PL game. It's a lot with the Lycan, right? So now, if you just you're gonna need more illusion clear on OG, like minion wave clear in general.
Gyrocopter still in the pool?
I don't like it against PL Lycan. You
I
get
don't
ran at
either,
and you
but
die.
What else actually clears these?
Once again, your draft's missing damage on OG. You don't really have the ability to do sustained damage throughout a team fight. You got the lasso, you've got the Wyvern ulti, but you need something to just I don't know, do more things.
I like Pucker Ember myself.
Is this Night Stalker
I like
core you
Ember a
guys
lot.
think?
What's up?
Is this Night Stalker core you think is going to be the 4 Jerax Night Stalker?
That would leave Bat Rider to be a support if it is core, which honestly against the PL they might do.
I don't. I think you keep it core. You just make sure it's matched up against the Lycan.
Yeah, I think Ember's really good here.
I might Sven. That's more of the typical OG style, I think.
Hero that's definitely been
Yeah,
forgotten.
and to your point, I prefer watching Fly play heroes such as Wyvern. I think that's when OG was at its best, and when Fly looked the best was when he was able to give himself these more like hard defensive fives with real save and the ability to turn fights. His notable ones: Dazzle, Wyvern, Warlock, Oracle. Like that was his bread and butter when they were winning lands.
There it is, Ember Spirit.
What a guy.
Yeah.
And I think that addresses multiple issues. It addresses the PL problem, very
Yep.
good against PL, and it also addresses their wave clear problems. Now the problem is they don't have objective taking.
Yep. But it gives them a win condition, even
It
without
does.
the ability to take objectives, because theoretically they can defend theirs, stall the game. Eventually you're going to get to a point where like
Yep.
a Battle Fury Daedalus Ember, PL does nothing. All of a sudden Lycan does nothing, and it puts the impetus on newbie now to address OG's lineup versus curate the best possible one for themselves, because if you can't address this Ember, you're going to have a real difficulty in the game. And right now I'm looking at an OD for newbie. I think that would be very scary for OG to deal with, just because it's SCCC, and I think it's going to dumpster this Ember and kind of removes Wyvern's effectiveness as far as turning fights around.
Well, it also runs into this issue where it's going to be newbie last pick, so probably looking for a carry now, I'd assume. The ones that are objective takers, a little bit of extra night vision, maybe a Luna
No,
possibility.
for
You don't think
newbie or
so?
for OG?
For OG.
For OG, I wouldn't mind a Luna, but I think that you can't deal with illusions. We've seen, I think in Thailand, like EG got run over by, what was the team that beat them in the lower bracket? Keen Gaming. They ran this PL lineup, and
There's the OD.
There's
ban.
the OD ban,
Yeah.
he's calling that.
yeah, you got to get rid of it. Like some ODs might lose to Ember, but not SCCC, and then Wyvern just kind of becomes a creep, even if you throw some people under.
What's left objective taking wise? What
I,
about
I
like a
think they might.
troll?
I think they just go
yeah.
Sven. I don't like troll against PL. I think it's the PL. You kind of have the
That's
answers.
Ember.
Just get something that can deal
Troll.
structure
Calling
damage.
a troll. Oh, you're too
Ah.
good at this, man. Too good
It's
at
great
this.
against the Lycan, too. Why not?
Yeah, it's also OG.
Oh.
Yuck.
Wow.
Now
they
you can.
just did that to him.
It's a great pick in the sense, like, look at all this. So the KP Lycan, as expected, but they have wards, illusions, and wolves. And on OG's
Oh
lineup,
my.
you have absolutely nothing that deals with this. You have Blink reliant carry in Sven and Bat, and you don't have the ability to actually like right-click wards. I love this Veno pick, and had they taken more than 2 seconds to do it, I was too busy gloating over being once again correct, as BSJ was once again.
Yeah, as long as it's
Unfortunately
not a
wrong.
mechanics question, you got it. You got to lock down.
But yeah, I like that pick a lot, and unless this Seb Ember Spirit has the game of his life, I feel like newbie just take this.
Well, we know what he needs to do. We know what they need to make it
Mm-hmm.
happen. It's going to be a hard one, and to be honest, the last time that we've seen drafts that are hard to execute with very little room for escape, it came up with a newbie win. So
I don't mean to be, I don't want to say just too black and white, but in this meta, I know we've been talking about each team wants to establish their own identity. But to be perfectly honest, if your identity of heroes suck, I don't really like your drafts, and I feel like they're going to win because I'm saying this, but I think Sven is just absolutely terrible in this meta right now. Like, he just, the pace of the hero and the way
Yeah.
like most
You
carries
need so
wanna
many
play.
items.
Yeah, and most carries are independent past like level 6 or 7-ish.
Yep.
And Sven is the complete opposite. He actually requires his team to make space for him or give him attention in order for him to get the farm he needs. And I just feel like not only that, but if you've played Sven to a Venomancer that knows what he's doing,
it's
that is
awful.
not an enjoyable matchup. The only hero really that creates pushing that you can't deal with cleave. The wards do not get hit by cleave, and that is super annoying because Sven's like kind of bread and butter is that he shoves lanes very quickly with cleave, and that just doesn't work anymore against a Venomancer.
No, I agree, and you also can't be given like a lane. Even if you try lane, give Sven a huge lead, he's not able to just 1v1 crush like a lot of others are.
Yeah.
He's very ult dependent in later mid-game team fights and doing objectives. He has to ult to kill Roche, and then he doesn't have it for the ensuing fight afterwards. And as you say, he needs so many items. He needs like Mask, Echo, Blink, and then it's like, okay, I have a timing, but that timing only lasts like 25 seconds.
Oh,
So they
maybe
do
a
smoke up,
chance.
but
Nah, they're not
Faith
gonna
pops
catch
it from too far away, it looks like. And they might be aggro tri-laning, it appears, and trying to dodge the PL matchup for the Bat Rider,
Yep.
but it looks like Newbie's going to be onto this and swap lanes.
They already got that ward down preemptively, so they're going to know what's up.
OG might swap too again, depending. Like, this could be the double bluff if they wanted to. We'll see if they decide to go for
I like
that.
how they're just putting Lycan mid and then trying to swap the PL in the Veno, because Lycan will just get what he gets mid, and then like trying to swap the other two heroes I think is better.
I really like it as well.
S4 is a mid build, though.
No, I'm glad they did this actually, because KP Veno makes a lot more sense. To make that your 3, because his job is just, he's more of an anti-carry this game, and you don't want him ever laning against an Ember Spirit, because it's just, you're just kind of giving Ember a game. In this case, I think Lycan has like 20 damage advantage, and even if they put the bat mid, as it looks like they're going to do, you don't get crushed as long as you play it smart, and it's...
Still not good, though.
Yeah. They got the Ember against Veno anyway, but it's a lot easier for a Veno to deal with in the side lane.
Yeah,
especially with
it's
the Sand
long
King.
chase potential of the slows from the Veno that benefit him in the side lanes.
Yeah, plus, it's a Wyvern support. Like, this is not a great place for Seb to be. You also get limited
Yeah,
level
Kaka
progression
did.
here.
The Poison Sting does not remove Ember Shield, though.
Correct, but it does do damage through it.
And this Burrow
Yeah,
Strike
the
does.
Burrow Strike does 85 damage to the 80 damage soak.
It hurts. Well, it's already gone for Seb, and this could be a tough one for him. We'll see how it ends up working. The lane swap already. Big Day No Tail heading mid, and S4 is going to go bottom.
That was so they just swapped it as well. Lycan goes bottom. PL did he TP? No, they didn't TP. They just swapped up. So they can always TP back, but remember, if you TP first, then the other team can counter with it. So
Always going to be one step behind. And No Tail going to try his best here, but we'll see if he's able to make it work. A lot of regen at the very least, and actually TPing in the Lycan now. So going to swap it again, I guess. No Tail swapping. See you later.
I think that TP by Mugi was actually really bad.
yeah, what was he doing? Why did he TP?
I think he should have waited for that TP. Let the Lycan walk all the way back.
What?
That was a really bad TP, actually.
Yeah, now they're just losing this lane middle for
I've done
free.
that before. And you're like, wait, what?
S4 is
Why am I here?
happy.
What happened?
I don't know, man.
I was very
Mid's just
impatient.
abandoned.
I was very impatient. Now Mugi has to walk all the way back.
Well, Seb, meanwhile, over here, rooted for the moment, so Kaka can't find the Burrow Strike, but this could be your first blood.
Yep.
Kaka drawing it.
Yeah, Wyvern Ember, about as weak of a safe lane as you can possibly have.
Yeah, I'd argue I can't find much weaker, in truth. They just have such incredibly low base armor, base damage. Their skill sets aren't that strong until later
Trading
levels.
potential, kill potential, none of it's really there.
They have a free lane mid though. Like S4 got 2 waves completely denied from Newbie. And my gosh, they're just swapping back. This definitely benefits OG though, because they have the XP advantage thanks to the way the waves are pressuring. So bottom and mid are pushing at all times. They have been for the last minute. So they're just losing more and more XP as they continue to try and swap lanes.
I love how Mugi actually went for, or not Mugi, sorry, S-Triple-C went for boots on the Lycan because he knows he's running from lane to lane. You don't see most Lycans get boots at all, let alone first item.
Apparently there's a bug going on. Should be starting up soon again. Couple interesting things here. Because they were able to put so much pressure on, they're able to get a pull on Newbie to the side camp, which now OG is going to come and try and contest again. It's a bug. I wonder what the bug is going on. But you talk about this early movement into the favor of Newbie, or other OG because of it. Do you feel like that's super significant for the way that this keeps on going here? Like, how in control are they of this sort of dual lanes? Because Newbie is moving so much.
I feel like the lane swapping will benefit the heroes that don't rely on the start.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Yeah, looking at XP, I think Sven actually is hurting him. The problem I have is that, as we talked about Sven, like, what does he want most of all, BSJ?
space to farm.
Free lane.
Yeah.
And this is the complete opposite, where he's just sort of forced to run back and forth. And yeah, it hurts the Lycan, it hurts the PL a little bit, but you don't really care because Sven's timing is so much more item dependent.
And specific. Like,
Yeah.
it has to hit it.
Because the longer it takes Sven to come online, the faster the Veno's going to be in a position to just deny him certain areas of the map. If it hits 12, 15 minutes, he hasn't done any Ancients, all of a sudden Veno can just push mid, place a ward on both high grounds, and what's a Sven to do? You don't have a blink, you can't kill this Venomancer, and Veno also is going to shut down, like, Veno shuts down the 2 cores of OG running back and forth, and he's outlaning the one that can deal with him in the Ember.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that great. I mean, is Veno the type of hero that can sort of carry them in this game,
Oh,
though?
for sure.
Through the mid game, yes.
Look at his talents.
Through the mid game, I believe you can carry them. They do need the PL and Lycan to come online eventually, but we've seen that most of these mid games are carried by the hero that just shoves your lanes into your towers, forces you to deal with them, and that's what Veno does. And Veno is more so a 3 because of that, because he's a hero that will help you in the mid game, but will not win you the game later on. But like later on, he's still an R. Like he just pushes R. His talents at the level 20 and 25 for his ultimate are pretty nuts. His ultimate
7
becomes
seconds longer.
25 seconds. If you have an Ags, it's effectively 2,750 damage, and that is a lot.
Like, that's so much damage.
And I don't know if you know how much 800 AoE is on Poison Nova. That's
It
pretty
is
much the
pretty big.
entire
to that
screen.
point, who's buying a pipe on OG? Which the Venomancer, even though you have PL Lycan, you need a pipe
Yeah,
to
I'm
win
pretty
this game.
sure it's going to be Night Stalker, but that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, you also want a Crimson Guard, and that's like one of the main issues I have with OG's draft is that they don't have the passive buyer, as the Russians
Yeah.
would say. They don't have the hero that buys the team fight items.
All right, so apparently there's a bug, and it's ready. And we can use it.
Let's use it.
What's
What
the
bug?
bug?
Well,
I
that
don't
would be.
know.
I'm just saying, if I were playing and there was some, I'd be tilted.
Bottom lane, possibly in trouble on Faith.
Let's see who can figure out what the bug is first. Faith? They get punched a couple of times here. You think it has to do with Batrider?
No, it's something on newbies heroes, I think.
Yeah, it seemed like OG was a little upset about it.
Why don't you just check out Twitch chat again, BSJ? I know you love it. I'm sure they
I'm
have
looking,
the answer.
I'm looking. PL third. Oh, PL's third skill. They still have
Oh.
that bug. That's so stupid. If it's the same one that I know about, it's that you can turn your aura off or your passive off. You can A-click an enemy unit and then turn it back on and A-click your own unit and rush all the way back to it, no matter where it is on the map. So you can basically escape any gank if used properly. I thought they fixed that.
Well,
It's a free escape mechanism from any gank if you know how to use it.
I'm sure that he does, based on the conversation.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on PL, see if he uses it.
all right.
I mean, if it's in the game, technically there's nothing that they can do to stop him from using it.
Always an interesting thing and tough to come up with admin decisions. But Kaka over here
Yep.
as well with KP.
Nighttime mid as well. Just hit. Jarek's there as well.
All right. Is he going to find something? Oh, 3 or 5 stacks on Faith. He is super dead. And SC gonna not be able to find a kill there onto S4 in return.
Yeah, eventually the lanes will settle down, and they're apparently winning that matchup on the OG side. Because they are the Lycan against the Batrider and the Sven against the PL.
Yep. And again, if OG like stays ahead of this game, they're in a pretty good position. I just fear for them if it gets to like 30+ minutes and they aren't super ahead on their Sven. The Ember, though, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, Sven really just has to kill buildings. I guess it's the Ember that matters the most, in truth, because he's the one that is essentially uncountered in this game. And theoretically, Mad actually should not die at all in this game. So,
If he knows how to dodge glimpse, which I assume he does, then
Yeah.
he should never die.
We're already seeing the beginning of some of the ward spam,
I don't know,
though.
where's he leaving his lane, though? Go back up there, Seb.
And we do have the bounty runes starting to be picked up as well. Obviously, Night Stalker, one of the better heroes at securing them, considering it's around the time when it hits night, when you get the first round of them. S4 stealing away some of these as well, and SC in the area, so they're able to kind of zone the Lycan back a little bit here.
Yeah, but they're doing it.
SC is
How unbelievably unprofessional. All chatting in a professional game?
unbelievable.
That's worse than wearing a t-shirt on panel.
Well said.
Can't
well,
imagine who
this
you're
is-
talking about there.
I don't know what's going on over here, but S4 is just being a little
Bottom
punk
lane.
to him. They going for this? All right. PL, has he got the bug? And it looks like jump away. Oh, able to get out of there for the moment. He does have a salve and trying to run, but not gonna escape.
The bug's pretty hard to use when you're in the middle of things like that. I will say I'm pretty surprised about the PL skill build. Usually you like to max your top lane. Never mind, no time to chat about the PL. We see Seb getting gone on. His Ember Shield is expired. They should get him with this kinetic field, but he's saved with the Cold Embrace for now.
Not bad at all. Kaka gets the Bro Strike through, still very low. He gets the kill there, and S4 going to be able to clean up as well as they take down KP and Toe. So 2 for 1, but that one was the Ember.
Yeah, take that though if you're OG.
I just wanted to comment on the PL build. Usually you like to max your passive when you can trade with the opponent laner, and Sven is not one of those heroes that you can really trade with. I'm surprised that he didn't go for the max lance this game. But
I think you can 3-point lance perhaps.
Yeah,
or 2-1-2.
usually, yeah, at least 2 points in the lance, just because you cannot afford to Phantom Rush as Sven and feel good about it.
Man, NoTail had an opportunity to stack camps and he didn't. I'm very disappointed. He just shrined for free.
It's not the greatest.
The fact that Sven is top of the CS chart is pretty good for OG, I think. He does have to deal with the Venomancer later, though.
But he does. He's just good in this game, right? And I look at OG's lineup, and theoretically, like they will have a lot of sustain, and they're also the only team with real save. So as much as I like the Veno, I thought that he would do a bit better in this top lane. Instead, the Ember's actually ahead. All of OG's cores are ahead, and they like. If they have the lead, their draft is so much better to execute.
Yeah.
You have an Ember and a Bat that can just be all around the map, capitalizing on the super big vision advantage you get from a Night Stalker. And in the meantime, they also have the real team fight top of the stack in the
This is SCC's life.
Jerix.
Yeah, this is his life. This is not what you can afford to have happen on a Lycan this early.
God. Just getting
when he doesn't have ult, you're not scared of him at all, and if you're not scared of somebody, you just run at them.
Well, he's going to keep the pressure on, but it is daytime now. Still, as you said, no ulti means no problem. And Jerix just going to have to back out now. But he waited through the nighttime at the very least, and now maybe he can go back into a lane, feel a little bit more secure with himself.
Top lane. Nothing really happening, and KP is not, like, KP just really isn't ahead. I think that they possibly should have done better in this lane. I think not blocking the easy camp punished them pretty hard, because as you can see, Fly CS is quite high, and a lot of that is just not in the lane.
Seb, again, he does have a Remnant to try and get out of there, and also Hasterin, so he does manage to escape.
Steals the CS. Home. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. That was the, never mind, the Veno got it still. He's actually going for a Veil on Ember, which is quite interesting. I don't feel like his lineup capitalizes on Veil quite that well, but...
you got a Bat, you got a Wyvern. I think it's alright.
That's an okay mid-game item for the tankiness against the PL Lycan.
NoTail just going to punch Mugi a few more times. Fate this year as well. No glimpse, though. Still only 1 point in that, opting for more in the Thunderstrike. And with 3 heroes in the area, there is a chance that they can maybe get a little bit fresh with NoTail. And in fact, they're going to go for the initial slow. They do have the glimpse available as well as the kinetic field. They turn now, trying to see if they can take down one before NoTail dies. But no such luck. Mugi gets the kill.
It's a big death. I'm surprised he's still down there.
Yeah,
he's
Sven
just playing off-lane Sven.
Lanes. Sven just can't occupy lanes. He should get his levels and get out.
I mean, I think they could have made that kill happen a lot earlier. Sanking's just been playing top this whole time, but like, he's been getting a lot more than you would expect, I would say.
Jerix trying to run down the curry. He pops nighttime instead, and now can think about going back mid. SC needs to be a little bit careful. Looks like he's not going to go for it.
Yeah, I think they should just put Fly bottom like they are. Have him make sure the tower doesn't die while Sven secures farm around the Ancients. They still did not stack Ancients a single time.
Oh, top lane. He scouts the ward, but just a bit too late. He's going to die.
Nice pick off there. That is what they need for sure. Killing spree for Jerix. They are going to be able to pick up both those bounty runes as well.
The KP denied the one bottom. Mid lane.
They're going to die here and move over towards mid. It looks like the chase forward. Can't find anybody, but Faith does die down bottom.
A lot of action suddenly.
Yeah. OG just, I feel like they just have such an easier time playing this game. They don't die. Like, no one on newbie can really set up kills at the moment just because of the kits on OG's lineup. Sven's the only one really susceptible to them. And as long as he does what he's doing now and just kind of chills in a safe area of the map with a Wyvern behind him, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think it was heavily predicated on this Venomancer shoving lanes in, making OG respond to him, but they're just killing him. And with that being said, Sven's a hero that needs the time to hit his timings, but if you're not pressuring his towers, he doesn't have that hard of a time of getting there. So starting down that Venomancer's early game is a pretty big deal, and I like the newbies trying to rotate top because they have to enable this Venomancer. Even if they don't get the kill, they do have Disruptor ulti though.
Yep, gonna look for it now. Can they get into range? He's remnant away. It's so slow though, the Burrow Strike as it connects. And they will try and take down Seb. Now the glimpse away from S4. He's not gonna help out here. And that is a dead Ember.
A great glimpse away. Very key. Otherwise they can turn that around for counter kills. Love the vision OG's got as well. They have vision of both the cores, PL like and Farming Woods, just thanks to the 2 wards they have placed deep in enemy woods.
Fly is alone over here, and he runs into some trouble now. He's going to have a kinetic field, keeping him in place as well. As he lands, the trees should break, and they do have eyes on him. That's going to be... ulti just dropped. Get away from me! I don't want none of your shenanigans anymore. Cold Embrace, keeping him alive. Burrow Strike for the kill, almost there. But the turnaround doesn't happen. Kaka is just going to have a nice
shield's going to wear out before he kills him.
Oh, well, that another works. Remnant almost there. It's not enough. You can't take him down. Kaka won't die. Just TP's home as S4 finds another kill off to the side.
First item, Boots of Travel on the Batrider.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense with the way they're trying to play this game, right? It's just to be more skirmish heavy,
and they lose Mugi as well. Jerax and No-Tail.
Jerax has been all over the map this game. He's doing a great job. Even though he's 4-0-2, so that's great, but he's also spent so much time slowing down the Lycan. He spent like 3 minutes just kind of neutering him, and even though he's not like, on a typical Jerax hero, I would say, I think he's doing excellent.
I'm really not happy about this max Phantom Rush with only 1 point in Lance, because the reason that the idea behind it is that you get free harass, and you only want to do that if you're not scared of dying when you go for that harass, but that's twice now that he's used Phantom Rush to try to harass No-Tail, and then he just gets stunned into Night Stalker Silence and dies. And if you can't afford to run at the enemy laner like that, maxing your Phantom Rush just actually gets you killed. And not happy to see that adjustment, or lack of adjustment, I guess.
Another big stack here for OG as No-Tail is going to try and take it out. A lot of gold into his pocket. He's trying to get towards that BKB. As we do see Jerax get taken down. That's a big kill as SC uses his first ultimate for it. It's going to make things a little bit harder to contest as No-Tail just finishes off that shrine. A ward drop down, which was definitely spotted.
Don't like that ward. It's obvious Sven's there. Kaka even knew it. That's why he placed it such as he did. This is the thing about Wyvern. He's just been planting himself at these towers. And you don't want to dive him. You don't really want to pressure the lane. And he already has Arcanes, which as a 5 Wyvern, that's all you ever need.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Wyvern plays a lot like ET at this stage in the game. Kind of just counter initiation for his team and defending towers. And that's exactly what OG needs in their lineup. So that's why we like the pick so much. And we thought the game would be a little bit faster paced for Newbie. But the fact that Newbie's been pretty much shut down on their steamroll early. This is so good for OG. The OG's timings they come slower, but that's only if they're really falling behind, and that's not the case here. Sven, #1 net worth, counters PL for quite a long time. It's basically once he no longer kills PL in a blink stun, then it becomes PL favored, but they also have the Ember to deal with this PL.
And it's also like just the armor for the rest of his team against the Lycan, against the PL, against everybody pretty much.
Yeah, with
like,
Diffusal no longer purging.
We talked about Pipe. We still haven't seen one of those anywhere near really being picked up, but Jerax with the DD now, hunting behind the tower. We still have a minute and a half until daytime as 3 heroes rotate top. I'm going to see if they can find a pick-off here. Kaka as well as KP in their sights, and the walk forward, they go for the Sand King first. They are within, well, not in range of the Sentry Ward, but he still is going to come out of that one. It was dropped afterwards, and Kaka dead.
KP's not leaving. Oh, no, he's now leaving, TPing to his team, actually, at the tier 1. So they plan to fight this. At least it looks like it.
I don't think that you can, though. And I love the itemization of OG, right? I love the bots on Bat. If he rushes a blink, especially against a Veno, you're just in this position where we've seen...
Oh, he knew it. He was waiting for him. He tries to turn this back around with Seb there as well. They take him down, and that was premeditated. Really well done.
Yeah, nice read. He knows by process of elimination that's the only place that SCC can go.
More coming in now as well. The double remnant forward. Seb trying to take down yet another. The stun, oh, dodge for the moment from Mugi. Burrow strike through to try and turn this one as well. They are going to be able to take down Jerix. The epicenter coming out as well as they're starting to fall down low as they get off the Venom ulti as well. Can they manage to escape? It looks like No Tail is out, but the Ember, no such luck.
I think Mugi could have focused No Tail, possibly killing him there, but it's fine either way. That's Sven having a tough time against these heroes. He definitely needs that BKB before which he almost has, 200 gold.
Yeah. Thing is, I feel like the Veno, like when the one downside of the side lane Veno, and like I love his talents, right? Level 10, either the 8-second Gale or more likely or not, like the 90 GPM adds up real quick if you hit level 10 around that 10-minute mark. But he's gonna get there around like 16, and I'm not sure the game is gonna go on long enough to warrant even the max efficiency out of that choice. I'm kind of scared for Newbie's lineup in a lot of ways because I think OG's itemized near flawlessly, and they're all accelerating. All three of their cores have games, and that the bots on Bat, now he has a blink, right? So yeah, the blink's maybe 4 minutes later, 5 minutes later, but he's been so active with these bots, and it's allowed him to stay on map,
I agree.
especially with the bottle. And that's the you can't go this like tranquil blink build anymore, because if you don't like meticulously get 1 kill every 100 seconds on key targets for like your first 7 lassos, it's just not a value item anymore. The games drag on too long nowadays.
And another ancient stack there, 3 stacks of it up, and No Tail getting towards the Blink Dagger next, about a little over 1,000 gold away from it. Starting to feel like this is all coalescing into an OG.
Newbie is smoked up on Kaga with the blink though. So
right.
they could make something happen here, but Sven no ulti, Night Stalker no ulti. It's daytime for another 3 minutes. I guess
Diffusal
30
Blade is
seconds
up as
to count
well.
his ultimate. This is the time to make something happen. Wyvern's the crucial target to get. He is for OG.
That's so hard to jump on, like you guys were saying. Level 10, there's the Burrow Strike right as the tower falls. Trying to take them down, but the follow-up a little bit too late. They do manage to get the Stack Storm. It's just on Fly, and even missing the Gale means he's going to be able to walk away. Gets the Cold Embrace, and Kaka's just dead.
This is really...
Oh no, and now looking for more. Can they kill off this Faith? They are going to use that lasso, take down the Disruptor, and from bad to worse to terrible, OJ is dominating this game.
Mugi needs to get out of here.
Oh, he's going to get him.
The Void, Mugi gets his TP broken, doesn't know where to go now. What's going on, my man?
Time for some jukes.
Needs a lot of jukes here. Does have a Diffusal Blade. The Ember jumps in, going to clear through all of those illusions just about as Jerix trying to run away. The chains are there. The Doppelganger away. Wants to get 1 kill, if at all possible, but the Cold Embrace puts the kibosh on that, and Mugi dead again.
Sven actually forced a BKB top to get out of the Lycan ulti. It's a small positive for Newbie, but obviously getting a little bit out of control here.
I like the BKB. Sven's one of the few heroes where BKB like really doesn't slow you down, and it's core on your hero, but it gives you 36 damage as well, and it enables him to be ready to fight at all times while still accelerating and staying on top of the game. And it's really OG in the driver's seat at the moment. Like they have all the ability to make plays around the map, and if you're Newbie, like that smoke play, that's their best shot, but they have to execute perfectly. They needed to have the Disruptor ult on top of the Sand King stun, but you're so scared at all times because at any moment there could be a lasso. Night Stalker pops Darkness, Wyvern counter initiation, like
and look
soon
at
as
the way
Sven
they're
blink.
playing too. Like everybody from Newbie so grouped together and constantly around the map. You've got all these other heroes from OG getting a ton out of it and stacking up camps. You know, Ember is building towards his own boots of travel now on top of the Bat Riders. They're going to be everywhere always.
Yeah, I love the way OG's playing this as well, as you've already mentioned. And Newbie just says, well, if we can't outfarm you and we can't necessarily fight you, we're just going to Rosh. And Venoman's a pretty good hero for this type of thing, especially during the daytime against the Night Stalker. And Sven, they already know BKB'd against the Lycan, so that's only going to be... Actually, it's back up, but OG is looking to contest this. Rosh is incredibly slow. They have Lasso, they have Sven BKB ult.
Ember doesn't have a TP.
Canceled.
They
Oh, that's
are
going to be a dead bat.
chasing. That guy is looking mighty dead. Burrow Strike as well onto the Wyvern, so she can't save. Can maybe get enough an ulti, but not in time, and that is 2 down for OG. So when it was looking so good, it suddenly turns back around for Newbie.
Okay, let's stop talking positive about OG, guys. That's not
No,
helping
that's
at
just
all.
it's too greedy. You can't. That's what Venomancer gives you, and that's why this is a great 10th pick for Newbie, because you can control an area so well, and all the initiation from OG is blink related. Or in Night Stalker's case, he's gonna fly in from the side. You need to fight Newbie before they can set up a box, because you can't enter the fight anymore. Like. You need the Ember to be able to go in with immediate follow-up, and otherwise they create this box, they split up, you can't get double stunned. What is your answer?
They have Blink Sven right now with BKB, but again, as you mentioned, all of these wards here makes it so hard to get that initial initiation, and on top of that, Newbie are doing a really good job of staying
Yeah.
split.
They are, and they also have to cover themselves at all times with this Venomancer. Like, he provides them the space and control in the middle of your fight box, I'll call it. And if you're OG, you need to take an unexpected battle. You need to get on top of a Newbie, like, right away. But the kiting potential of Newbie is also super high, just thanks to the Peel Diffusal plus the Veno. So if N0tail messes up, squanders his BKB, gets drained of mana before popping it, all of a sudden OG's damage disappears.
I would like to see a Halberd out of SCCC here, actually, after the Necrobook completes. I think that'd be a great adjustment against the Sven. I think that's their only problem here right now. He's top of the net worth, and
Yep.
I feel like Batrider does have a hard time dealing with Disruptor as the game goes on until he gets BKB. And we saw in that last fight, he just got queued by the Disruptor, and then Kyle even said he was dead 10 seconds before it even happened.
So OG, they showed Jarex there heading up towards top, and then he TP'd back to meet up with the rest of his team as Seb is pushing mid, trying to take the tier 2 tower, and they're set up to find a kill if somebody TPs for the tier 2
Newbie's
bottom.
going to force him
Yeah,
back. They have
Newbie's playing
Lycan.
this right. Yeah, exactly. And Newbie doesn't care where the fight is as long as they have time to set up.
Yeah, this is OG needs to get back. This is way too slow, I think.
Trying to now, TPing, starting to get there, but again, Disruptor, it's so scary TPing into this, and him being able to just glimpse you away. So watching
Ulti
for
to
Winter's
creep.
Curse,
Wrong one.
it's not where you needed that
That's
one.
not good either. Like, that means that there's no Wyvern ult now. You're not afraid if you're Newbie. You're going to at least get the tier 3.
Easy peasy for them right now as Seb is trying to keep them back yet again, but the tier 3 tower down, and
That's-
Newbie incredibly happy with that.
That is so big for them. That gives you so much map control. Keep in mind, there's 2 bots heroes already on OG. You remove the shrines, all of a sudden, like, you're very limited on your ability to move around the map.
And I like that they TP the Lycan back, knowing that he just wants to get to his next item.
Oh, are they going to go right now onto Seb?
He's their weakest hero.
They've got their eyes on him here. Burrow Strike maybe coming from Kaka. They've got him caught for the moment. Static Storm down onto 2. N0tail pops BKB though, trying to take them down. Can they kill off 7 time? They will, but Kaka might lose his life for it, or just
See,
a 4-step
the
away.
Veno wards.
Saving his life. Burrow Strike getting out. TP, why not?
Lasso used on to the Disruptor, who already ulted. That's not the target you want. This is an Aegis PL, and Sven's ulti's going to run out.
They're thinking about going back in. They found themselves another round of Burrow Strikes. They didn't TP out with Kaka. They're taking down Jarex as well. Big Daddy N0tail trying to kill off Moogie. He's still doing a lot of damage there. Needs a doppelganger away, and they are going to be able to get him. Now looking for more. The Winter Wyvern gets the blink out, but my God.
Those are the exact sort of fights you got to avoid if you're OG, because this Sven BKB is like forced by a Disruptor ult, and all of a sudden, those Veno wards, that Poison Sting slows you through BKB, and then once it fades, you're stunned, you're PL'd, you have no mana, your ult's fading. They don't even have a Lycan for that. Like, Newbie just playing this game perfectly, and OG just overextending a little bit, and
Look at this graph
Man.
here. 6,000 gold lead. It was more so than that, just the way that they were controlling the game, and now it's feeling like it's all Newbie as they're
Bottom
going
lane
to
like an
ulti
ulti.
on to
He might just
S4.
die.
Just want to take him down. The Purge is there from the Necro Book, and S4 trying to run. He is able to juke away from there for the moment.
That's still
Seb
space.
chasing, but not finding, and in fact, it's actually going to be the PL who gets silenced. He just down with the Burst Strike to turn it yet again. They got him caught in the kinetic field, but Seb is going to be able to remnant out if he wants to. Jarex starting to fall low as well as Moogie has eyes on him. But they don't want to take this fight, apparently, as top lane, they're also going to be going for some split push action. SC is there, while they're still pressuring the bottom side. So everybody's spread out from OG, and they've got Seb caught again with the Static Storm down, back off cooldown. Moogie is on top of him, and an Ember dead again. Wall the Rat is going on up top.
man, Newbie playing so well. Like, they're abusing their reach constantly. They have reach and poke, and that's how you have to win this game. Make Lycan draw the attention of OG across the map, and in the meantime, the rest of the team find kills.
And they still need to defend against this. You can see bottom, 4 members of OG, but Lycan is still keeping that pressure on, and there's going to be the lasso back.
no.
Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. N0tail pops BKB trying to run, but guess what? They just walk away from this guy. The slow is there with the BKB wearing off. Kaka might think about chasing this one. The 4-step forward, glimpse him on back, and N0tail in trouble. A great Wyvern ulti is maybe going to kill off the Veno, and that is much needed. But can they find any more? The ulti's still going from N0tail, trying to get the cleave out, but they've got him caught. They've got him kited, and N0tail cold embraced. Is it enough to keep him alive? I don't think so.
Lycan took top
Yep.
racks during that.
Over and over again, Newbie running at them and looking like they're not stopping for anything.
I mean, the hero we outlined is the one that was key for OG is Seb on that Ember, and he is suddenly in 6th in net worth, like far behind his Bat and his Sven, and
They can't deal with these lanes at all.
No, they can't. Like the Sven, he was so ahead, but like now what? He's got the Blink BKB, but no other item he purchases is going to do anything, especially if he's on in a defensive position. Like,
feels like that anchor man. No, that escalated quickly. Like, look at what happened. It's been 7 minutes, and it's about a 10,000 net worth swing.
And you hate to say it, and you hate to oversimplify some things, but when I like the fact that OG decided to mix it up with their draft, something different, something maybe that's more OG-esque than other teams, but Sven is just not a good hero right now, and you're seeing it. It feels like he's messed up like twice.
Yeah.
And suddenly the game looks like this. And Sven's a hero that he hits his timing, and Kyle even said, like, that timing, it's specific and it doesn't last very long. And against these heroes like Veno, I love their itemization. 4 staff, like just bunch of 4 staffs.
Yep.
Just kite the Sven BKB,
Yep.
and then he's done. Doesn't matter. You just lance him, you diffusal blade him, you purge him with the Lycan creep, and he can't do anything in these fights.
And the damage output from OG, once again, is quite low. And Newbie really doesn't have those problems. When you have Venomancer, PL Diffusal, like, you never have issues. You can just poke forever. The longer the fight goes, the better. And OG, it felt like they had a couple of great moves, specifically like when No-Tail countered that those mid-TPs, but they're not getting free fights anymore.
And look at this. They're going to try and make something happen here, but OG a little bit off the mark there with the scan.
Bottom lane between the 2 supports on Newbie. They might find Seb here.
Oh, if they get him again. All right, now he jumps out of there. Knows that is not great. And meanwhile, mid lane, they have found an opening here, trying to take down this Lycan. It's a good bit of damage, but is it going to be enough? 4 staff still running. SC out of there. With the AC and everything else, he is far too tanky for an easy kill. The wraparound is called, and Newbie trying to get together with their mid lane player. Can he get out of there in time? His ulti's about to wear off, but now with KP moving in as well, they might need to get out of here. A good silence on Akaka, but now they've gone too deep, and now they're going to be punished. Jerax burrow struck. S4 trying to run. He does have bots, and he's going to try and escape.
Great play from SCCC there. Just cutting straight to the liquid part of the map. Those trees, just hide in them, get as far to a corner as you can, and inevitably, like, it just gives your team the angle of pursuit. They find OG's heroes before they're able to finish the kill, and you get a turnaround. And I think Newbie's actually playing this game very well. I think OG, as you said, somewhat limited in the way their draft forces them to play the game, but I think Newbie has recognized their win conditions and done exactly what they had to do to win. The item builds, like KP, again, peel and sustain. That's all they have to do is survive the initial onslaught, the Ember Remnant in, the Sven Blink BKB in. If you kite the Sven's BKB, he's a worthless hero after that.
Yep, you dangle, and then you, during Sven's tangle period, which is the BKB, you peel, and then you win.
Pretty much. Now oh my gosh, look at this, the PL bug.
I'm not seeing that.
He just charged from Dire Shrine to his own shrine.
Well, while that was happening, that's going to be a Bat Rider also going down. They're going to be able to glimpse back Jerax. And the Winter Wyvern ulti, it's on Akaka, burning him very, very low. And that is not a dead Kaka. Just on the edge of it, he lives. They also have a Spirit Vessel, so he is going to live longer through it. The tower is down. Seb trying to stop this by buyback on the Bat Rider as well. Able to pull back in that Lycan. Still incredibly hard to take down, but they're starting to make it happen. Is it enough? It is.
Takes down the Rax first. Took him too long to kill him.
But not my pride.
Yeah, they didn't even have a PL for this, and Sven BKB and ulti already down. This PL's unkillable.
He finished the heart while he was farming bottom, so he wasn't there.
And again, no Night Stalker, but more importantly, no real damage to deal with this PL as he just turns sights onto all of them one by one, and then eventually onto the bigger task, which is these barracks. Epicenter doesn't work on them, but that's fine.
Buildings. If they can't kill you, just make them come to you, and they'll have to show up eventually. Otherwise, their buildings die, and that's what OG is exactly doing right now.
Last stuns coming out, trying to keep eyes on him, but as you mentioned, 4 staffs always there. OG going to be controlled as No-Tail tries to make the damage happen, but it is just too difficult. All of his mana burned, and the building's falling over and over again. Constant pressure. Sandkeen buys back in the game, realizes he wants to be a part of the winning celebration. The TP in, coming yet again from No-Tail, but able to doppelganger away from it. Still dealing cleave damage, but it's not quite enough. The Winter Wyvern ulti onto possibly an illusion himself as No-Tail pops his BKB, Last throws as well. Can they finish this off? No Tail is gone. Moogie dominating streak. There is going to be a Static Storm down as well on top of both of these. And Moogie not dying anytime soon. Doppelganger away yet again. He is going to eventually fall. They also find themselves another kill. Buyback from Seb. Maybe going to be able to find a couple of pickoffs here, but it is Mega Creep.
Yeah, he's just running up mid lane.
And KP, the consummate force, as he slows and poisons and drains the life away from these guys as SC has on the prize, taking down the tier 4 towers. They want to kill off KP, and they want to kill off Faith, but Seb eventually going to be the one to fall, it looks like here. The last couple hits onto the Ember Spirit, and well-played calls, soon to be GG as well.
Yep. I think Newbie, they just accelerated the game, right? They did that Roche that OG didn't expect. OG also gave a couple of kills away to and realistically, once the Veno has ward set up, you're never going to break into that box.
Yeah.
That Roche then gives them the tier 2 mid, the tier 2 top, then OG doesn't get back to base in time, so they're then forcing a fight on their tier 3. The tier 3 dies, they pursue out, they get kited, Sven dies once, then the Shrine's dead. Like, it's just this chain of events. It's just so unfortunate, and if they can stall that game a little bit longer, they get a Radiance on Seb, maybe an extra item on No-Tail. Like, it's a very different game because it's the Roche, the tier 2s, the tier 3s, everything is delayed. But once Newbie hits a timing, and they have this incredible mid-game draft where they're buying sustain items on their offlaner, you're buying them on your Night Stalker as OG. He never even gets a Crimson Guard.
What is this music we're hearing?
I feel like the most important maneuver that entire game was the series of events. I don't even know if I can concentrate through this music, but where Newbie said, "We're gonna force the Roche. You're gonna have to fight us in our Veno wards." And then they walked top, saying, "Come back to us.
Yeah.
We don't care about your split push. We push way faster than you."
Yep.
And then they TP'd the Lycan bottom out of all heroes. Lycan's the hero that's going to create the most pressure on bottom lane and offers the least amount to the fight top because he had already used his Necrobook as well as his Wolves. And that baited Seb to come out of his base because that's a maneuver where you can't kill the Lycan because you all TP back to your base, and all of your other lanes are shoved in. So your two choices are to try to shove the lanes or just let Lycan walk down your bottom lane, eventually take your towers. And they chose to try to farm, and instead they get picked off on the Ember, and suddenly they have no map control. The Sven, who is against a Venomancer, is the only hero on your team that's farmed. And as we've talked about, not a huge fan of Sven around here.
And
I mean, so, gentlemen, we talked about it before. Has Newbie found their identity, do you guys think, through this series?
I think that it was a great last pick. There are very few heroes, I think, what else gives them the ability to do that, right? If it's any other hero, that bat's going to be blinking into the pit. He's going to find a lasso. They're not able to kite Sven as effectively, and it's just the perfect pick in this game because it also allows them, if you look at his items, Force, Pipe, Greaves. Like, no one else on his team could buy that. And
oh, no, the people's heads kind of ruins the illusion, Rob.
And to your point, the thing I love about putting Lycan bottom is that he also has the hardest time like finding space in that game because he's so pressured.
Yeah.
But the moment you bring everyone back to OG's base and the Lycan goes bot, every creep wave is worth a kill on a support for the most part.
Yep.
So he gets like 7 hero kills of golden XP effectively.
And takes a tier 1.
And takes tier 1, pressures the tier 2.
And that's all during his like weak point too. Like he didn't have his Necrobook. Yeah. And the thing for me is that Venomancer's a hero that if you remember back when Venomancer Necro, that era where those two heroes were OP, he was considered the hard counter to Night Stalker because your wards give you vision against a hero that's whole purpose is to eliminate vision.
Yep.
And like when all said and done, across every patch, heroes still counter each other. Like it doesn't matter, you know, how good or bad each hero is to some extent, except for when you're a Sven. I think that hero is just not viable.
I just think I think they just have to play the game a bit differently. If you
think they could have won with that?
I think they just had to slow the game down. And the moment you're forced to fight with just Mask, Blink, BKB, Sven, bots, Blink on Bat, bots, Veil on Ember, like get to that next item, and you're going to do that a lot faster because the Sven can just crush through the map. He was 3,000 gold ahead at a point, but the moment you lose a couple fights. And the Roche, the objectives, like I think it all comes back to the failed contest on Roche because that not only gives them extra gold, but then they immediately have the map control to take mid tier 2
and just walk down top.
And then you can just walk top, and you're controlling the entire enemy map. And they have Aegis. You can't go fight them if you're OG. You have to mirror, but you're already slow on that because you've had a couple heroes die, and you hung out around mid. You couldn't take that fight. They're immediately going top, and you have that long march towards bottom, and you're just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I think Newbie did a great job of just forcing OG to respond to them, which is the way their draft really capitalizes on just the way the game is then forced to be played.
Yep.
So
Complete
Well,
agreement here.
that's all I got.
I mean, glad that we all came to a consensus on that one. I think that it's always a little bit tough to see elimination day. So far, this is the third team now eliminated, and we still have one more left to go a little bit later on today. Thoughts so far? Anything that you really would say about like the teams that we've seen make it through so far?
Lycan is a good hero.
Lycan is a good
Like
hero.
I feel like Lycan as a hero is just he got buffed a lot because heroes like Sven are not viable in my opinion. And then one of his main counters previously was Terrorblade, I think, and now that Terrorblade's no longer picked.
I
But
do believe that we might have an interview.
Nobody
or
wants to listen to us
Rob
anymore
is
anyway.
listening to something weird, but we'll be back after the interview.
So Newbie is playing more fast than the history games. So how you adjust to this current patch?
觉得有吧，就现在双猎打得多嘛，以前一般都是很少双猎，然后现在就双猎比较多，所以就这个改变吧。
So we do more dual bottom lane, so it seems to be suited to current patch.
OK， 那我们还想问一下，在第二场比赛当中，你们是很快的就选出了剧毒术士，这一手是怎么样考虑的呢？
So the second game you pick Venomancer without a hesitation. So what you think about it?
其实想的是打那个剧毒啊，不是打那个夜魔和那个蝙蝠都好用，然后就想一下，然后就想选，然后还是看他最后一手选什么，然后他就补了个Sven，所以就感觉就非常棒，所以就秒点。
感觉
Venomancer.
Hello? I think he said Venomancer is really good against Sven, and that's what we're going to take out of that
Yeah.
interview.
I would
BSJ,
agree.
you okay there, man?
I had to look at Twitch chat's response to that.
I think the whole English translation is really just for our benefit too, because I know KP can speak both languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
God, stop looking at me like that.
unbelievable. Unbelievable, BSJ. Well, oh, we're back.
也有很大的好处，他就比较逗的一个人嘛，所以就感觉就输得多，所以要早点改变。
So we didn't play well in the most history games. So we invite Senshin back to our team to give us some new strategies. Also, Senshin brings some happiness to our team. So I think he's really nice.
我们也是发现最近狗哥总是会在微博上 BP 完了之后就发一个我的，这你知道吗？你还不知道，回去查一下微博吧，他已经把锅都背好了。好的，我们十分期待牛币和狗哥在后面比赛当中的表现，非常感谢 KP 接受我们采访，我们接下来看精彩回放。
That guy, he's good at Dota. They're happy. Well, KP's saying that he's bringing a little happiness to his team, happy about winning, happy to be back on home soil as well. It's a team that's traveled around a heck of a lot. Well, ladies and gents, I think that's going to do it for our second series. Real quickly, we'll do a quick little overview. So far today, IG versus Newbie. Newbie obviously moved on from there. We had LGD versus IG Vitality, where LGD were able to move on. And now that leads us into OG being eliminated most recently. And we have one more series for you today. It's TNC Pro Team, which is actually TNC Predator now, versus LGD. Predictions.
A hype series.
Spicy.
Best of the day, I'm guessing.
For sure. I hope TNC brings a better showing than what they did in the upper bracket.
I think the quality of Dota from both teams will be better than what we just saw in this series.
Yeah.
And I think that it's going to be a lot more play-based than draft-based. I think these two games came down to draft, but also, like, it's just, draft isn't the way. It's like the draft like limits your strategy and your
Okay.
ability to innovate within a game. And that last one comes down to, like, yeah, sure, OG made a couple mistakes through the mid-game, but at the end of the day, you're playing against multiple Force Staffs, a Pipe, and a Greaves, and you cannot buy these items.
Yeah.
So you're all in on this idea that you're going to have flawless initiation with your vision advantage that isn't real because of the Veno, because of PL, because of Wolves, because of Disruptor, etc. And it was just a great game of Dota played by Newbie, and I look forward to getting to see TNC LGD because I think that's going to be a hell of a series.
All right, well, ladies and gents, goodbye, China. Oh, yeah, goodbye there. And we will be back in a little bit with our final series of the day. TNC facing off against the wonderful LGD. We'll see you guys soon for more from the Major.